Welcome to the NBA Coast to Coast podcast brought to you by thelines.com. Coming to you from the West Coast, Josh Lander, joined by Nate Weitzer. He's on the East Coast. We've got another set of play props here for you on a Tuesday in the IST, baby, in-season tournament play. We are looking forward to more of it. I would call Monday night a huge success. We are recording in the middle of this Pelly's game, but it was a very exciting game in Indianapolis between the Pacers and the Celtics. I think we're expecting a bit more of this playoff atmosphere as we move forward through the rest of this one. But let's go ahead and get into stuff here. Make sure to like and subscribe to that page. Also have a best bets video up for you for Tuesday night as well, which we're bringing you each and every weekday this season. Also head to thelines.com. Use that prop finder tool that we have up there to make sure that you're getting the best juice available to you from all of these books giving you bets this NBA season. Nate, let's go ahead and get into your first NBA play prop for Tuesday night.
Yeah, Kevin Durant, 27.5 points is as low as you can find it. I have no problem with the alternate 30 points for KD, but the safest bet here I found is 35.5 points and rebounds because he's probably going around 7-8 boards on top of whatever he does scoring wise. I mean, just think about you remember the feature that was on him like 5-10 years ago where he was just talking about how tired he is of being number two, like the second best player of his generation. Every time he gets a chance to play against LeBron, it is just the most lethal version of Kevin Durant. I mean, after winning a title against him with the Warriors, but he just in his last two with Phoenix, 38.5 points per game, 10 rebounds, a 41% usage rate. He's shooting 50, 82% in his last three against LeBron and the Lakers. KD is a guy who you want to back on the road. In his playoffs career, he's 29.5 points per game, plays more minutes on the road, 41 minutes per game. With Phoenix last year, 27.5. Still finding his footing and, trading turns with Booker. Chris Paul still played in a couple of those games in the playoffs. He only shot 28% from three, which is interesting because that's 10% below his career splits. But now I see in the numbers reflected here that Booker is much more the point guard and accepting that role as like I'm gonna drive to set guys up to get teams in rotation and get KD open shots among other things. And he's shooting 58% from three when Book plays. So I mean, 32.5 points per game on the road this season, also boarding up, even with a lower usage, 30.5 when Book plays. I just think, yeah, he's getting 30 tonight, and we can tack on the rebounds for a little safety.
Sure. However you want to do it. I fully agree. One of the things that does, I mean, look, AD is going crazy for boards. So, like, I mean, Nurk is going to have to keep him off of them. I don't know if that means Nurk will be getting them. I think KD's rebound chances should remain high. So I have no problem with the boards in there as well. But, you talk about the points at 35.5. That was how I felt about, it's a similar situation to Derek White on Monday night, where it's like Derek White without Kristaps in these scenarios as of late is scoring 20 points a game. His points props at 14.5. It's the same concept here. KD's averaging as many points as his points and rebound prop. Like, sure, I'll throw the rebounds in there because I think he's good for a few, but I think the 30 is like almost a lock. So I'm with you on that one. That was my favorite bet of the night as well, especially from that game. Happy to let you have that one. You did a great job. I will go on to my first one here, which is a little same game parlay. And to be honest, like my favorite bet within this 3-leg parlay is Chris Middleton rebounds. There's just so much wonderful correlation that I found in this exact context to go ahead and ride with it. But I'll put it together and get a little bit more juice and have some fun here as well for anyone who wants to sort of ride something that's a little bit juicier, like I said. But Middleton, you can take him at the 5 or the 4 boards. The core line is 4.5. I'm good with that over, like I said. To get this to a nice safe place, if you want it, though, Middleton 4+ rebounds, Lopez 4+ rebounds. That's Brook Lopez or Brolo to you, and Giannis 4+ assists as well. I love attacking Giannis assists when he goes up against a team who has a defensive wall that can actually make a difference. Everybody tries to play a wall against Giannis, where you have a drop D of sorts and bring everybody to right around the foul line or right below it and make sure that you can just wall off the path to the basket. It still doesn't work when you just have dudes who are playing Olay defense, but this one is the Knicks D. So I'll just start with Giannis assists and just say, like, I was always planning on targeting this for him in this matchup. He's gone over in 4 at least in 8 of his last 10. By the way, it's all the way up to 5.5 for the core line for Giannis. So one, the amount that he's been diming up this season is clearly on books' radars, as well as the amount that he's dimed up against the Knicks is on the radar of the books, because it's 5.5, and you'll normally see a 4.5 line for Giannis when it comes to assists, even 3.5 at times. This is just a situation where he gets a ton of them, so they know that. They juiced it up. I'll take the 4+, which he's done in 4 in a row against the Knicks. He had 9 potential assists in his first game versus the Knickerbockers this year, but he's averaged 15 of them in his last 4, dating back to last season and including this season with the Nines, because he had a ton last year in terms of potential assists against them. I understand Dame has the ball a little bit more in his hands, but 9 potential assists just last game, playing at not as a little bit of a clunkier offense for Milwaukee at that point before they've gotten a little bit more efficient. So either way, I love that for him in this one. Working backwards, the Brolo 4+ rebounds, another situation where when Brolo, he's not seen as like this rebounding center necessarily because he shoots so many threes and because he has so many other quality bigs playing around him, one of them named Giannis Antetokounmpo. But in these situations, he is the matchup with Mitchell Robinson, who is trying to claim the throne of like at least top 3, if not best rebounder in the league, definitely top 3 rebounders in the league. So this is going to be a huge focus for Brolo. That's why he's averaged 5+ rebounds in the last 4 versus the Knicks, which is, I'm taking him at the 4+ in 8 of his last 10 games overall this season for the rebounds. And in his first game with the Knicks, he had 19 rebound chances. Now, he's not always going to have a super solid rebound percentage against the Knicks, which, by the way, he got over this in the last game, so no worries. But the 19 rebound chances, like I said, even if he's at about a 52% rebound percentage on those rebound chances, which is reasonable because those rebound chances are also considered rebound chances for Mitch Rob as well. And Mitch Rob, right, is going to have a solid rebound percentage as well. So, like, even if he gets half of that, right, we're still at a solid 8.5, 9 boards for Brolo in this one, according to the rebound chances. And finishing it up, the rebounding for KM, for Chris Middleton, that's kind of where I started. He's not playing on the perimeter nearly as much. His 3-point attempts have gone down. Where he's playing in terms of who he's guarding is not nearly, it's not a relevant player at nearly as much as it used to be, right? He's not guarding the guys with the ball in their hands. He's guarding the guys, and if you just look at the example from the first game of this season between these two teams, he guarded Josh Hart and he guarded Dante DiVincenzo. And those dudes on offense are not playing with the ball in their hands. They're playing to either go crash the offensive rebounds or be a corner 3 guy, right? So he's always standing down there guarding the corner 3 on the baseline, closer to the basket. Point being, that's been a real solid reason for his increase in rebound chances, even just this season, where those have gone up for him. He's gone over this in every game that he's played this season, except for when he's had at least 19 plus minutes. There's been a few that he's played less than 19 minutes, didn't get those boards. But in every game except for the one against Chicago, this is something that he does, and I expect him in a game that they care about to get 25 to 30 minutes. 25 to 28 has been his ceiling, and this is a game that you would use him for that amount of time.
Yeah, I think we might actually see Chris Middleton, kind of hit his stride a little bit. Or, I mean, if this is what they've been warming him up for, to see what he might have in a high stakes game, for him to get over 12.5 points, 5 rebounds, I think that's solid. I mean, it's no coincidence that you picked the 3 most senior members of the Bucks here in an elimination game to get their numbers. So yeah, I'll ride with that, and it's just similar to my game theory here, which is Jalen Brunson at just 9.5 rebounds and assists, or just 3.5 rebounds. Both are just plus 108. I mean, the logic basically simply is that he's going to play 40 minutes in this game, like 40 plus minutes if it's competitive. And he is an absolute winning player who, while he does have some games with 0 rebounds or 1 rebound this season, but lately been boarding up. And when the game is on the line, he's going to mix it up and get down there and get you the winning rebounds that you need, because he's just, again, an absolute winner. Last 4 here, 5 rebounds and 7.8 assists per game. I know he's been scoring a lot lately too, and especially against Milwaukee, 44 points per game his last 2 against Milwaukee. I think I'm just going to zag a little bit, even though, I wouldn't hate going over 25.5. It's juiced. Whatever. I think that the Bucks are going to have to. Is it crazy to say they're going to have to send help for Damian Lillard if he gets matched up on Brunson or Malik Beasley? Neither of those guys are dealing with him right now. So you send help, and he'll be able to kick it out to a Knicks team that's 7th in overall 3-point percentage and has been pretty hot, especially lately. gets you some assists there. In the playoffs last year, his rebounds
Yep.
did go up 5 a game, along with 5.6 assists. And again, played 40 minutes. Bucks allow the 5th most rebounds to point guards, also the 6th most points, and they're coughing up a healthy 26 assists per game over the last month here. So, I mean, yeah, I think the plus odds, you're getting a little bit of value here, but as long as he plays 40 minutes, I think we'll find a way to get there.
I feel you. I did mention in the best bets video, Jalen Brunson does shoot more in these situations, and they give up a ton of points. I'm not angry at it. I'm not going to ride with you. I'm going to be honest with you, though. I don't want to lie to anybody here and give any false transparency. I think we're a little bit on the opposite side of this. I do see a lot of shots coming up for JB. It's not a very high number. It's just that it's not a very high number for a reason. Good on you for getting the plus money. And I'm definitely not fading you, and I'm supporting you from afar. So my final bet here is LeBron James over 25.5 points. And I mean, we've been talking about LeBron caring about this game since we started doing the best bets video and the other one. Like and subscribe so you can check that one out. We got to take LeBron. Like, we can't just keep talking about the Lakers beating and the scoring points and all this success that we're planning on seeing from them on Tuesday. Then we have to throw LeBron into the mix in some way. You can take the 14.5 rebounds and assists. This is why I sometimes get caught. I get caught between a rock and a hard place with LeBron, or I don't know, a pillow and a soft place, depending on how you look at it. For him to get the rebounds and the assists, or is he going to get the points? And I go back and forth because in these games he could go either way. It's just such as the like brilliance of his game and of his career that I don't know, but I'm going to go with the points because of the fact that like this is where the Suns are the most vulnerable when it comes to other positions, specifically scoring against them. It is small forwards. It is LeBron. It is versatile, big scoring wings, and scoring being the key here, right? Because a lot of the guys that have torched them, if you look at their recent stats in the points production specifically, it's coming from wing production. Something that we spoke about briefly in that Raptors Suns game, where you were looking at the Suns Raptors, and it was like, look, it's easy to think that the Suns are going to win that game. I didn't talk you off of it because maybe I should have, but I didn't. But that is one thing, is that the Suns are going to be vulnerable to exactly what the Raptors have a ton of: a Pascal Siakam, an OG Anunoby, a Scotty Barnes, a LeBron James, right? And so that's the type of player and the prototype that is going to have a lot of success against this team. Just the recent numbers, we talked about it a couple times already. 32 points in the first one. That's in the IST. He's also averaging 25 a game in the in-season tournament. And in 2 of those games, he didn't even play or try. That Memphis game, he was in there for 25 minutes. I think he put up 8 shots. Like, he just didn't care. 8 shots, you know what I mean? So, like, this is going to be a game where he cares. And say what you want about it. The matchup plus the $1 million for all of his homies, like LeBron has said that he cares about. I'll go ahead and take him to get the points in this one, get 26. I think 25 is that number for him, man. It is like a ceiling, sort of where he's normally at. So the hook there could get you if you want to just take the 25 and like buy a half a point and eat the juice. I think that's fine. But if you want to be a little bit less conservative, like the 25 and a half, he might as well maybe a little baby ladder up to 30, because I think the usage is going to be there for him.
Yeah, I mean, another thing he cares about is his legacy and being like, oh, the first in-season tournament, LeBron led the Lakers, et
Totally.
cetera. So I trust the Lakers and LeBron to be scoring, because I think KD and Book are going to put so much pressure on them. And if he sees it start to go sideways, that's when he starts to score more and just bull his way to the rim. Your
Yeah.
point is well taken that the Suns can't deal with big wings. That's why they play uh, Bates Diop. I'm stumbling over that one, but there's
Got it.
no really good
You got
options
it.
for them in terms of finding offense and defense at the same time when it comes to keeping those big wings on the floor. Sometimes they roll with Grayson Allen, and then you're just completely outmatched in terms of size on the wing. Braun should get his because of that.
He should. He should, man. Like I said, there's the possibility that he's like, hey, Austin, you shoot 20 times. And then I'm like, whatever. All right, fine. But I think in the games that come down to this with scoring, like you said, coming from KD, his Robin, if you will, in terms of this generation's best players. But that is all the time that we have for you in this one. Continue to follow along. Check out the best bets that we have up for you. Like and subscribe to that page. We're here with you each and every weekday this season. So until we see you next, happy betting.